Today's show is brought to you by visitlauderdale.com.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, and here we are, Neki, Mohan, Mike Mayo, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, Visit Lauderdale, remote edition for National Sandwich Month. Tell the good people where we are today, Neki.
We are at Broad Shoulder Sandwiches in Fort Lauderdale off Commercial Boulevard. I'm super excited. It looks good. It's like a combination, looking at this menu, of a sandwich shop and it feels like a little home cooking.
Yeah.
A lot of home cooking in this menu. A little mac and cheese, a little gumbo, a little, shrimp and corn chowder. Loving this. It's very interesting. Good menu.
The name of it is Broad Shoulders because the chef in charge, chef proprietor, is Tom Azar.
Uh-huh.
He's originally a Chicagoan, Chicago. And Chicago, as we all know, is the city of broad shoulders. But now he's in the city of the Venice of America, and
954, hanging in the
954. And him and his wife Cheryl, they met. They were both chefs at I think they met at Emerald's in Orlando at Disney, at the whole Disney complex. We'll get the full backstory in a minute, but this place opened up, I think it was earlier this year. It's a really neat little spot that's east of Federal Highway on Commercial Boulevard, 2822 East Commercial. If you're watching us, come on out, either now or later. A lot of people who head out to the beach in Lauderdale by the Sea.
This is you get a picnic. This is perfect.
You can come and pick up a sandwich to eat on the beach, and they've got a really neat menu. They got, like you said, it's a little bit deli. We've got our Dr. Brown's things here. We don't want to spill it all over Lubie's equipment. He gets a little sensitive, but I got my Dr. Brown's cream soda.
I have my Diet Dr. Brown's black cherry.
And we've got a Reuben sandwich coming that's on the menu. Also, because it's Broad Shoulders, we got a Chicago Italian beef, the hot Italian beef.
Oh, and watching that show, I
The
told
Bear.
you, The Bear.
Right. And
I want to have an Italian beef.
So apparently now Italian beef sandwiches are trending everywhere on TikTok because this show, The Bear, which everybody keeps telling me that I have to watch. And Tom and Cheryl said, I think they watched the first episode last night. And everybody who's
It's great. It's great.
Everybody who's in the food biz relates, I guess. So I got to watch it.
It feels very real. I mean, not that I cook, but I would imagine if I did cook in a restaurant, that's what it would be like. But listen, restaurants need people like me. The best thing I make is reservations and orders.
Yeah. And this is.
Did you get my order for this? What did you put in?
Well, I put in a little bit of everything. And Tom is going to join us in the second segment. Cheryl is busy working the line here, along with some of the other staff, because it is the lunch hour.
And they get a nice lunch crowd already.
They get
Hopefully
a good crowd.
After this, they'll continue to get it.
And we are here again doing the show live. And again, I've been in here. I've had the Italian beef sandwich. I loved it. Tom makes his own house-made jardiniere, which is the little spicy relish that you put on top of the hot Italian beef.
Spicy.
It's served with a little au jus. So we're going to get one of those. I have not had a bunch of the other sandwiches that he's going to bring out, including a fried chicken sandwich, a spicy, kind of a Nashville spicy fried chicken sandwich. We've got a Cuban sandwich coming, Neki. Right. Do you know that there is actually, besides being National Sandwich Month, next week, I believe it's on the 23rd.
It's Cuban Sandwich Day?
It's Cuban Sandwich Day.
That's Tuesday. It's Election Day.
It's primary day. So on the way to the polls. Did you vote, by the way?
I did. I mailed it in. I'm going to be in Nashville for a convention.
Okay. There you go.
I did my civic duty, put it in the mail on Monday, watch the postman, pick it up for myself. Plenty of time for it to get.
This is our public service announcement for the day. It is primary season. I'm not telling anybody how to vote, but I'm telling you, please do vote.
Yeah.
Because
it's we call ourselves a democracy. We fight for democracy around the world. We should do it at home and do our civic duty. And if you don't, and it's like in the age of the internet, you can't say, I don't know who to vote for anymore, because there's guides on there. There's information on there. You know, I know it's a lot coming at you,
Our
but
friends at the Sun Sentinel, sunsentinel.com, they put out a full election guide that has details about all the candidates and issues. The editorial board also puts out their recommendations,
and it's early voting's underway.
and
So.
I'm happy to say that my mom. Hello, Mama Mayo, 89 years old. Oh, well, I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry.
Mom.
There's a woman who just walked in. I didn't mean to distract you, but
we're doing a show. But hi, anyway. Come on, don't let us stop you.
Yeah, it looks like another mother and son are in here. But my mom, she filled out her ballot last weekend, her mail-in ballot. I dropped it off at the safe deposit outside my local early voting precinct that they have set up at my local library in Dania Beach. And I dropped her ballot off in the special slot. They made sure the signature was on it. They gave me a little sticker to give to her. How
old is your mom?
We're going to say 89 plus, 89 and a half. But she's going to be turning 90 in January. But she says when
we couldn't vote, I think.
So January, one day at a time. She turns 90. She doesn't want to get ahead of herself. So we'll call Mama Mayo 89, and she's tough as nails. And she voted, and then I went in and I did my early voting, and it was painless and simple. And now in
early voting, you can go to any voting precinct across the county. On election day, you have to go to your precinct.
Yes, the election primary day is Tuesday. It's the 23rd, and then you have to look at your voter registration card and say, where's my local precinct located? Much easier, actually, to do the early voting because, like you said, you go to anyone, and they're convenient. They're all over the place in Broward. They're open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. from today through Sunday. Sunday is the last day of the early voting. So, all right, we're done with our public service announcement. We're going to get it up to the eating. I thought, we were maybe anticipating a Defoe appearance, but alas, he's probably got.
Aren't we close to the man cave in proximity?
I think we are. He was talking about coming out because there was going to be this huge array of sandwiches, and I've been eating a sandwich a day during Sandwich Month.
A sandwich a day makes it.
A sandwich a day keep the scale away. Forget about the doctors. And luckily, I'm all done with the doctors this month. Everything checked out, which is great. So I'm eating guilt-free. I'm taking my walks every morning with my daughter, and I'm feeling healthy. But Tom said, aren't you sick of eating sandwiches yet? I said, not today, because it all looks really darn good.
I rarely eat sandwiches, but I'm opening up the palate today, because this looks too good to be true.
Why is that? Are you just kind of carb averse?
No, it's not even that. No, it's not had nothing to do with carbs. But I just think I didn't grow up eating sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Caribbean girl.
But you ate doubles,
everything had a side and rice and beans, and yet fried bread and bacon shark and our homemade bread. Yes.
Okay.
But not cold sandwiches. That's what I should say.
Okay.
I'm a very hot sandwich kind of girl.
I mean, you were around rotis and the doubles, hot sandwiches when you press and fold them.
Yes,
a lot of these sandwiches are hot sandwiches.
Yeah, my grandmother baked bread every day, so hot bread. We didn't buy bread, but so I'm a hot food kind of person. So yes, and I'm all big for a muffalata, or like what's New Orleans food.
He's got that on his special board. He's going to assemble one of them because also Tom spent time in New Orleans. Our other friend Tom Tanasini,
told me, him and his wife.
Yeah, he started off at the original Emeralds in New Orleans. Then they met at the Emeralds that they set up shop in Orlando. But again, Tom Azar here has a little bit of New Orleans Cajun cooking running through his veins. So he has a muffalata on the specials board today. And, I got nearly killed by a muffalata last week. My friend Tom Tanasini at
they hit you with it?
Oh, well, you should have seen the size of this thing.
You tried to eat it.
It was literally like a manhole cover. So I don't know if Tom A is going to try to outdo Tom T in terms of the size of the
Bring it on.
But that's what I always say is bring it on. So,
all right. The crowds are coming in. The word is out about broad shoulders, and we're happy to talk about them here on the Visit Lauderdale edition of the Lunchbox.
Now, I'm surprised because I love sandwiches, and you probably could tell this. I mean, I like anything that's easy and neat to, like handhelds. That's the new restaurant jargon for sandwiches.
Yes.
And, and I guess handhelds includes, tacos and burgers and anything that you don't need a knife and a fork. But the classics. Well, this is a debate that I've been having ongoing with Lubie and Defoe throughout the month. Is do you consider is a hot dog a sandwich?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Is a burger a sandwich?
Yes.
It is. Why? Because it comes between
Yes, two pieces of bread.
Okay.
Yes.
There's some people who say that it's its own separate category, that there's so many burgers out there and the variations.
And I say it all goes into the same stomach.
Oh, that's true with me.
It's like whatever. But no, I mean,
is a taco a sandwich?
I mean, a taco is a somewhat of a mini sandwich, or it's probably closer to the slider edition. But at the end of the day, who cares what you call it?
Okay.
Who cares?
They were saying a taco is not a sandwich because I was at a Mexican place.
Because it's one piece
I don't know.
of
It's like
tortilla.
one thing that you wrap and fold.
Yeah.
But again, to me, it's like especially if you have a flour tortilla, which is bread-like substance, not so much the masa.
But in all
corn.
of these origins of these meals, it's the person's type of bread that they can make.
Yeah.
Tortilla they make on they make it on their
it's called a
flat iron.
tamal, and
Yep.
they
Mhm.
spread it out. They
when
press
Indians make their roti, it's on a tawa. You know what I mean? It's all a similar. Whoever can make their bread the best they can.
Yeah.
What they have and easiest.
But you'd be proud of me because I went with my daughter on Tuesday to a Mexican restaurant in Hallandale Beach.
Mhm.
And, when these guys, I was texting, is a taco a sandwich? They're like, no. But then I went right to the torta part of the menu.
Uh-huh.
And tortas are Mexican sandwiches on this big, fluffy, kind of like a ciabatta-like bread. And
I'm not big on labels. I just want the food.
okay. Well, anyway, I've had, I think, what are we on? The 18th day of August.
Yes.
I think I've had about like 24 different sandwiches so far. I've been stockpiling them because my goal was to get to, like 31 sandwiches in the month of August.
And you're way ahead of your game.
I'm way ahead of this is one thing where, unlike my hot dog eating contest where I went down in
I can't believe you
flames,
did that.
I was a miserable failure. But on Sandwich Month, I am on a good pace. I think I've got this. So
Good. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm
So-
very proud of you.
what's happening with the Visit Lauderdale, Dine Out Lauderdale? Have you been availing yourself of any deals? Have I in September?
I actually I did Casa Sensei, and I think I told you that. I went to Casa Sensei. I did Planta again. Today, I believe they're doing a segment at the Catherine.
Okay.
But there's so much to do. There's so much to choose from. I've done Yacht.
Okay. We like Yacht. That's hard to find in that southwest neighborhood.
But I love
it's a
it.
marina.
Yeah, especially since it's under construction right now. That whole 20th Street is under construction. But it's worth it once you get there. And I saw YOLO had a good menu. There's a lot of visit lauderdale.com/lauderdeals. It's Dine Out Lauderdale time. Next week I'm supposed to do a spa.
Oh, nice.
For spa month for a couple friends' birthday.
I need one of
those. So that should be fun.
I need a full-on.
Have you been to? Have you gone to a spa day before? I know you have a daughter, and she's probably hipping you to a lot of these life's luxuries.
I've been to spas. I've been to resort spas in other areas, but I haven't done the Lauderdale's spa day at one of the local resorts. And maybe I should treat myself.
The auberge looks good.
Maybe after 31 days of 31 sandwiches plus, I will then go into my health kick and have some spa cuisine, some salads,
self-care.
Yes, I need some self-care, Neki.
Yes.
I definitely need self-care.
Don't make me laugh.
So again, but go online, visit lauderdale.com/deals. And again, we're not even halfway through this marvelous Dine Out Lauderdale because it's the rest of August and all of September.
Yep.
And there's
lots to explore.
50 plus restaurants. It's not just in Fort Lauderdale, it's in the outer areas of Greater Fort Lauderdale.
Are we going out to Cook and Cork at some point?
Cook and the Cork, I would love to. Let's do
on
that.
Coral Springs, and Lubie can go around the corner from his house.
You know what?
I looked at their menu. Oh my God, I want to try the KFC.
Keith and Dana do a fantastic job.
I definitely want to go to the Cook and Cork in Coral Springs, and I want people to watch us and bring out their other restaurants and be part of our Lauderdales because it's a great opportunity to get free marketing. And it's just fun. We talk about it all month.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
Here, talking about it everywhere.
If August was sandwich month for the Lunchbox, I'm thinking maybe September will be Dine Out Lauderdale month, and I'm trying to hit as many different Dine Out Lauderdale restaurants.
Yeah.
And kind of report back every day on the show,
Yeah.
and then
Listen, there's some good
talk
stuff, and
about it.
and sometimes it's hard for restaurants to do. It's a tough price point to create that kind of quality at. But I don't mind if they shrink it a little bit, right? I don't mind if they shrink the dish a little bit because you're getting. Rarely do I go to a restaurant and eat an appetizer, entree, and a dessert.
It's too much for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. But for the cause, I'll go all in on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cause, where's the food? It's time for our first break.
Well, we're going to take our first break. And then we're going to be joined by Tom Azar, who, along with wife Cheryl, runs Broad Shoulders Sandwiches here on Commercial Boulevard, 2822 East Commercial Boulevard, in Fort Lauderdale, on your way east towards the beach, the beautiful beach. And we're going to come back after these words and hopefully be surrounded by a sea of sandwiches along with Tom. And we'll start chowing down, because I know that's what we're all about here on the Visit Lauderdale Thursday edition of the Lunchbox.
Ooh, they also have bread pudding.
They have bread pudding. Ooh,
that's
dangerous.
my love language. That's my love language.
That is dangerous territory for the carbaholics out there. But yeah, I'm sure Tom will hit us up with one of those after we get the sandwich onslaught out of the way. All right, we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauder Deals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3- and 4-course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals.
We're back.
We're back on the
I'm
Lunchbox.
moving all my
I'm getting
stuff out of the way
situated.
because
As you can see,
got here and I got
the
excited.
landscape has changed.
Yes.
Neki, Mohan.
I know.
We
the
are now
smells.
surrounded by a sea of sandwiches
Yes.
at
I'm
Broad
clearing
Shoulders
everything.
Sandwiches.
Even the Dr. Browns.
This is quite the spread. And hopefully we're going to get Tom on here in a second. But I'm going to just point to all the different things here. Look at this. We got a over here, we have the classic Reuben on caraway seeded rye. We have a spicy fried chicken sandwich. We have a New Orleans style muffaletta on the round semolina roll. We have a Cuban sandwich that looks really good. I like the way that looks. It's kind of nicely pressed down and just overflowing with all kinds of good meats. And we've got the hot Italian beef sandwich, which is all the rage now, thanks to the Bear TV show. We also got our sides. I see potato salad, mac and cheese, baked beans, coleslaw, and a bag of Zappos Voodoo chips, which is the official chips of New Orleans.
These are the best. These are the best.
And last but not least, we have Chef, proprietor of Broad Shoulders, Chef Tom Azar. Thank you so much for having us.
This.
Please,
this is
thank you for
amazing.
having
And the
coming
silverware.
today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Come on, Lubie. You know I'm ready to eat.
So
this looks
looks
amazing.
great. Neki,
And I'm not a sandwich girl.
No?
she says she's not a sandwich girl.
But I like
think
hot sandwiches.
You do like hot
well,
sandwiches.
this is a hot
hot.
So we
sandwich.
got here,
This
hot
is a hot
Yes.
sandwich.
I
This is a
love
hot
hot
sandwich.
I do warm
That's
the
a hot-
muffaletta too.
Yes.
You know, Neki's originally a Caribbean girl, and
I'm a
she
Caribbean
likes
girl, but I
hot
spent a
bread,
lot
like the
of time in New
rotis
Orleans.
and doubles. And but again, I think the Cuban the bread comes out nice and warm on the press. So, Tom, tell us a little bit about Broad Shoulders. When did you open? Why did you open? And how is it going?
Oh, right now everything's going really good. We're really, really happy with the way things are going.
How long have you been here?
We've been here now since February 22nd.
So this year.
Oh, wow.
We just opened in February. Yep. And yeah, like I said, everything's been going really, really well. We're really excited about being here. The community has just been so supportive of us. You know, we just couldn't ask to be in a better location. You know, my idea with broad shoulder sandwiches was that, you know, I just really couldn't find a good hot sandwich anywhere. You
See,
know, there's a lot of
talking-
delis.
Guy
There's
after
a
my own
lot
heart.
of like really good delis and, you know, cold sandwich places, but just couldn't find a good hot sandwich. So I thought, you know what? I want to do a hot sandwich restaurant. I think it's something that the city needs. I think that people like hot sandwiches, you know. So and plus for me, I've been in fine dining and I've been in clubs, and I was ready to, you know, do something a little bit different. You know, it's fun. I could still be creative. I could still do, you know, create my specials with the sandwiches. I make everything in house, so you know, it's good for me to be able to be doing.
You're
that.
originally from Chicago?
I'm originally from Chicago. Yeah.
Wow. Hence the Italian
beef. Yeah.
and you've been watching that show on The Bear.
You know what? It's
That's
funny.
an amazing show.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
great. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I watched it in like 2 days.
Did you really?
Every
You
episode.
binged.
Yeah. That's
Appropriate
way
for a
to do it.
food show to binge on a food
Yeah.
show. But the hot beef, like I was telling you, that it's trending now because of the show. A lot of people on Instagram and
I
TikTok,
didn't
around
know what it was.
restaurants are putting it on the menu. Have you noticed any uptick on hot beef sandwich sales?
That's
or
all we've been selling today. is hot
Really?
beef sandwich. Yeah, the Italian beef. Yeah, the Italian beef is. I'm probably going through 100 pounds of top round.
Really?
Wow.
What sets the Italian beef apart? Because I see it has a jus
Uh-huh.
from the French dip. I guess
Okay.
it's the bread.
Well, so traditionally you don't put the jus on the side for an Italian beef. An Italian beef, you would take the whole bread and you dip it into
The whole
Oh,
thing is
wow.
a
the
dip.
whole thing. You dip it right in there and then you put out. But
This
not a
looks
lot of
too
people
loaded.
want to do that. So
Yeah.
what I did is I just said, you know what? I'm going to wet it a little bit and then put the jus on the side. So it is a lot like a French dip. But the top round, what I do is I season it with Italian seasonings
Yeah.
and then roast it for like really long time at a low temperature. Let all those seasonings get, you know, baked into there, cooked into there. And then chill it and then slice it. Take the pan drippings, make a nice jus with that. And then make the jardiniere. The jardiniere
Yep.
is really the
Tell
key.
people who might not know what a
What's a
jardiniere,
jardiniere?
because it's the
Okay.
key to the hot Italian
It
beef
really
sandwich.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the jardiniere is pickled spicy vegetables.
Okay.
But what I do is I take
Almost like an Italian pickles.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, just like that.
Mhm.
So I take jalapenos, serrano peppers, a little bit of carrot, celery,
Cauliflower.
and cauliflower. And then what I do is I soak it in salt water overnight, like
A
really
brining.
strong.
Yeah,
a
good
brine.
brine.
it.
Yeah.
Then I'll drain it and then rinse it off. And then I heat it with a little bit of vinegar, olive oil, oregano,
Oh,
a little bit of red pepper
so
flakes.
Now this all makes sense to me from watching the show.
Right.
Who's on vegetables? Who's on bread? Who's on, you know, like he's got the
Exactly.
stations.
That's exactly right. Absolutely. But
No.
yeah, that's how I do mine. You know, some areas of Chicago do it differently. They do more like a braised type of beef. You know, but the way I grew up eating it, it was always roasted, shaved, then dipped in the jus to order, and then put on the bread.
Now, did you grow up with a particular hot Italian beef sandwich joint that was like close to
was.
home, or is
There was
it
a place called Mario's.
Mario's?
You know,
Okay.
it's a pizza place. So in Chicago, you can get your Italian beef, and any pizza joint will have
Really?
Italian beef. Yeah.
Now, is Italian beef sandwiches sold in Italy?
No. It's a
Yeah,
Chi-
probably not.
it's a Chicago
It
thing.
is definitely a Chicago thing.
And now I know a lot of people, like I guess the most famous purveyor, and they have franchises now all over, is the Portillo's or
Portillo's, yeah.
Portillo's.
Portillo's is a big franchise.
And I heard that they're coming here somewhere in Broward, but I haven't seen it materialize yet. So you
Right.
hopefully will be capitalizing on the hot beef Italian beef market for the time being. But yeah,
definitely.
your version is outstanding.
I'm,
Well,
I'm
thank
afraid
you.
to like eat
The
that on
jardiniere
live
is
television.
outstanding.
Eat
To
that
me-
on live YouTube.
I can't.
I
Well,
can't.
I'll eat it. I'll attempt to eat it maybe at the end of the show. It's
Oh,
gonna
you have
be
to eat
it's
it.
gonna be very, very sloppy.
All the sandwiches.
But
are
you know, I'm gonna be the Defoe restrained character today, because usually I'm the one stuffing my face with sandwiches on the air. But Neki, for she likes to eat lunch.
I'm
on the
hungry. I come to the
Lunchbox.
show hungry.
yeah, you gotta
and,
come hungry.
and yeah, you gotta come correct.
Yeah,
come
I mean,
hungry.
my whole thing is like I can't authentically say how good it is if I'm not eating
If
it.
you
This
have to
is
try
So,
true.
it.
but your food influence comes from so many different regions because
Mm-hmm.
you have so many different things. Where are your baked beans from? Where do you think you make your baked beans from?
When I was living in Texas, this
Texas.
guy that I was working with, we opened up a restaurant in Texas,
Mhm.
and he showed me the best way to
Yeah,
make
that's right.
baked beans.
Really?
And I'll tell you,
No, it's very good. It's not too sweet.
a
You know,
little
it
bit of
has
spice.
Yep, it has a little
Right.
spice to it. Yeah.
So yeah, Texas. Was
and where's
definitely
your
my
mac and
influence.
cheese influence from?
I would have to say mac and cheese. New Orleans, you know.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I would say a lot of my influence comes from New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
Yeah. Listen, I love New Orleans.
so yeah, tell us about how much time you spent in New Orleans, and that's where you first started working for Emerald and Emerald Goss. Is that
Yep,
true?
yep. I was with Chef Emerald for 16 years.
Wow.
I left Chicago in '93 to open his second restaurant, Nola.
Oh.
So I was there for a couple of years, and then he moved me over to his flagship restaurant, Emerald's. There for about 8 years, about 6 years. So my total time in New Orleans was about 8 years. Then he opened up the Orlando restaurant, so I moved to Orlando as a sous chef. So that was my first like real management position in the business.
Nice, and that's where you met Cheryl.
Cheryl and I met in Orlando. Yeah,
Yeah, and,
Amazing.
yeah.
And
She was
is
a dining room manager, and I was a sous chef.
Oh
okay,
wow.
she was front of the house.
I was back.
What
you
do
back in the
you
house,
after you
right?
work all day in a restaurant? Where do you go on a date after? You just go home and drink beer and pass out
Exactly.
because you've been around food all day. It's
Oh
like
yeah. We would go to a bar, hang out, that kind of thing,
Not the Waffle House.
No,
in
no.
Orlando. I don't know what's open late night after the
Right.
service is done, but. No. Okay, so how did you get to Fort Lauderdale? I understand you spent a little time working at country club, doing the country club chef thing, and then
Yeah. So, getting down to South Florida, we came with Emerald because he opened up the Miami restaurant. I was his chef de cuisine there.
okay,
I left in '08 to go try and do some things on my own, and then what I did was started at the Turnberry Ocean Colony. That was like my first job in a club atmosphere. Was there for a couple of years, and then I had an opportunity to open up a restaurant in Miami with these guys, and I did that. So that was a restaurant. Did that for about 2 or 3 years, and then from there went back to the club. My last club that I worked at was the Lauderdale Yacht Club, and I was the executive chef there for about 8 years, and that's how I really got down to Fort Lauderdale.
wow.
And then started looking for a place because I wanted to do this, and we found this beautiful, amazing place.
Yeah, it's a great location.
Now-
It really is.
Yeah.
Really is.
now I don't know if you know the backstory, the history of this place. It used to be Eduardo de San Angel,
Yes.
which is was one of my favorite restaurants.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'd be eating that. I took a bite of
Did
that.
you?
already.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wondered if you took a bite
I
out
took
of
a
it.
bite of that. I don't
I
want.
grew up in a 3-bedroom
I'm-
house with 10 people, so
Yeah, I'll cut you.
there's not much of
I did have a bite of the fried chicken, spicy fried chicken. It's delicious. I'm going to cut this
I'm going to
in
your potato
half
salad next.
to give Neki a little taste of it. And now
Alright.
I'm making a mess everywhere.
No, you're
because
not. It looks great.
And,
they're messy sandwiches.
It's
so
a
you're
very
good.
good sandwich, and that's part of the whole deal with hot sandwiches. Is sometimes you get a little messy, but I like getting messy with my food.
That's very good.
Opening a
Okay.
restaurant now in 2022, I guess it's better than in 2020, March of 2020,
Right.
or even 21.
Mhm.
But still, was there any kind of reluctance or hesitance because of we're still kind of dealing with the pandemic and health concerns and whatnot?
There was a little bit, but I wanted to do this, so I said I'm just going to do it. And I think that it's starting to with this type of concept, you can do a lot of takeaway. So people who aren't ready to go back to restaurants, they'll order out, and we do a lot of takeaway here too.
And
This is amazing.
yeah, are you on all the delivery apps or
Yeah,
you
we're
have-
on Uber Eats, we're on Grubhub, DoorDash.
And what do you foresee? Do you want to expand and have multiple locations?
I
And
do. I don't know about multiple, but I definitely want to do a few more.
a few more
For
around the county, or maybe expand.
Maybe around this area. Maybe go up closer to the not on Las Olas, but around that area.
Yeah, downtown area,
Yeah,
that whole
down-
hub of the youthful. All
Right.
those apartments are going up in Flagler Village and whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
We're thinking about Aventura possibly, or Hollywood, that area.
Yeah.
yeah. I tell you what, I live in the Hollywood Dania area. We need some more good sandwich shops that are
Yeah.
hot sandwich. But yeah, good job. I mean, that
Oh,
fried
It's
thank
chicken is
amazing. This
delicious.
fried chicken is great. It's moist.
Yeah,
It's got good. I like the
Got a little
remoulade
zing.
that's on it.
you
You
do.
had
it-
me at spice.
Yeah. Do you get like the Nashville style? Like you fry the. What's the way that you get the spice
Okay,
into
so
the
for the
sandwich?
spice, what I do is I'll season first I take the chicken breast. It's an all natural chicken breast, pound them down
Mhm.
just a little bit to so they're not so thick.
Right.
So that when you go to fry it, it doesn't get too dark. And then I'll season with a Cajun seasoning, and let it sit for a little bit. And then to order, I dip it in Crystal hot sauce, which is a Louisiana
Yes, I
hot
love
sauce.
crystals.
It's the
Oh,
best.
I
Yep,
love
yep.
crystal.
So I'll dredge it in that a little bit, dip it in that, and then I'll hit it in some seasoned flour, and then right in the fryer. And then
Nice.
that's it. It's
Yep.
nice and crispy. And
Yeah, it's good. Nice, just white meat, breast chicken, and
A lot of flavor.
there's so much flavor,
Mhm.
and you hit it with all the little. What do you got on there? A little mayo, spicy, a little
spicy mayo, lettuce, tomato, pickles, homemade
pickles.
pickles. That's
Gotta
it.
have the
I
pickles.
think mayo has
Yeah.
its place. You know what I mean? Remember you asked me, I don't like a lot of mayo,
Yeah.
but even like you put the spice with it. And
I
it
won't
has
take
its-
that personally.
Don't take it personally. You can't have too much mayo. But even like in his potato salad, I hate a potato salad that's drenched. But you can tell that there's enough other stuff in there. I have to taste the mustard.
Mhm.
You know, it's good stuff.
Celery, onion.
Yeah, what is
Celery,
your
onions.
the
Egg.
style? I mean, because I've seen potato salad where it's like the warm German potato salad,
Yeah.
and then there's kind of like does this have is this like a Midwestern
I don't
potato
know.
salad?
It's a good
But
potato
this is
salad.
how I've always made potato salad.
Okay, I
learned
gotta
how
get
to
in
make
there.
potato salad. I actually learned how to make this type of potato salad from a guy, Cajun guy in New Orleans.
I was just about to say it tastes very New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. And he taught me. He said, the potatoes, don't cool them off, leave them hot. So the potatoes are hot. Put them in the
Uh-huh.
bowl. Then add the mayonnaise, the mustard, the relish, the onions, the celery, the eggs, all that stuff while it's hot, and then mix it all up.
I lived in Jackson, Mississippi, so it was 3 hours north of New Orleans, and I would always drive down to New Orleans.
Mhm.
But what I loved about New Orleans is like even growing up, because I grew up in Trinidad, like everyone takes such pride in putting a meal out there. So whether you're buying it from the after hours spot on somebody's porch or you're at a restaurant, they make sure that it's served well every time, and it's a pride thing.
It really is.
It's
You're
not even
absolutely right about
it's
that.
not even about business. It's about if somebody says you can't cook, you're in trouble.
You're
Like you
absolutely
shamed
right.
your family.
You're right about
You
that.
can't go back home.
Absolutely.
No,
So-
it's definitely-
We're here at Broad Shoulder Sandwiches with Chef Tom Azar, who opened this. So it's a little over 6 months now,
Yeah.
and
the word's getting out.
it's
People are coming
the
in.
word, and people are streaming in for the lunch rush. And I hope Cheryl and crew can
Everybody-
handle it, or
Can they
we'll-
handle it without you?
we'll let you get back.
I've
I
got
guess. Yeah.
really good group back there.
Okay,
my
good.
wife is amazing. She handles everything in the front. I got a guy back there that just does everything.
Nice.
But
So
that's the thing,
I'm
we
gonna
all-
lean in.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
get the Cuban, and
Cuban is very good.
let's talk Cuban sandwich
Because it's
because
warm.
there's a lot of debate about it
Okay.
in terms of what meats belong, what condiments belong. How do you prepare your Cuban?
So for my Cuban, what I do is I just use a regular boiled ham. That's it. Not a smoked ham, just a plain boiled ham. And then, like I said, I make the pickles. So you got the ham, you got the pickles, and then the roasted pork. So the pork, I use pork loin, and I season it up real good with garlic. And I hit it with a little bit of mojo, like lots of lime juice and orange juice. And then I hit it with some cayenne pepper, salt, black pepper, a little bit of paprika. Just season it up really, really good. And then I'll let it sit for a day in that seasoning.
Where did you go to for your research on your Cuban?
Just the Cubans I've eaten in Miami and
Yep.
being here. Yeah. Trying different types of Cubans. And
Now you use the sliced roast pork.
I
Not,
slice it.
not a lot of places now. These newfangled places, they kind of use the what's it, lechon asado, like a
Right.
chopped up thing.
Mhm.
But this is more just the traditional
Sliced
slice,
pork,
which
yeah.
I prefer it. When I first moved here, that's what all I would see in Miami is just like a flat sandwich. I like a flat Cuban. Now more and more you're seeing with the shredded, and it makes it a little bit. And I don't know. I guess it's a personal preference thing.
I think you're right. Definitely a personal preference. But yeah, I like to do it this way,
And do you put? It's just mustard, yellow mustard.
No, I put mayonnaise too. And I know
That's
that
controversial.
It is, but that's what I like. So that's why I'm going to do it. And
Okay.
I get a
Yeah,
lot.
but it's not overwhelming. They all go
I
well
just put a
together.
little bit. Yeah.
They all
Only
go
because
well
it needs
together.
that richness. I feel like it
Needs
that
a little more
richness. I don't want
creaminess?
to change, when done for so long. But you know what? I figured
But you gotta get a pass because you're a sandwich shop. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're
agree.
not a bodega. You know what I mean?
Mhm, exactly.
In the bodega, you put mayo, and they're like, you're kicked
No,
out.
no,
Right.
Nikki, this is the weird thing. We had this discussion earlier this week about whether mayo belongs or not on a Cuban, and I was shocked because when I first moved here, the Las Vegas Cuban cuisine
Yes.
restaurants,
Uh-huh.
they would never have mayo on it. It was just strictly mustard.
Yeah.
But lately, when I go into my local there and I pick up a Cuban, it's had the mayo on it
Really?
too. So
Right.
something has changed,
Uh-huh.
and maybe it's tastes, and people like Tom, the chef, says maybe it needs just a little bit more of that hit of the creaminess and the fattiness.
Absolutely right. That's how I feel about it. It
Well,
needs
you
that
know what?
fat.
I tell you, in the Caribbean, we didn't have a lot of mayos. Maybe just it was a Cuban thing. You didn't have a lot of mayo in Cuba, so
Yeah.
Right.
they
Okay.
didn't work with it. It's just something that wasn't available.
To me, when
That
you
makes
do
sense.
Yeah.
on your grill or press, do you like slather the outsides with either like butter or some sort
Butter.
of butter?
Yep.
So you're getting a little bit of the fat that way too, and the
That way too.
crispiness, which
Yeah.
to me it's all about the crunch. So I
Oh,
love
for sure.
that. It's a really good Cuban. I
Thank
give
you.
it the big thumbs up lunchbox seal of approval.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
delicious. That's really, really good. The
I'm glad
meats I
you
could
like
tell excellent. I love the
All right.
the,
I'm
the
doing
roast
my
pork.
side survey. I'm moving on to the coleslaw now.
So I guess
Looks crunchy.
what's
which
it?
I love.
We see there's a big lunch crowd.
Mhm.
You guys are open also for dinner, or do people come in and take sandwiches home for dinner, or what's it like later in the day?
So when we first opened, we were open till 9 o'clock. Between 7 and 9, we just weren't doing anything.
Right.
So right now, what we're doing is we're closing at 7.
Perfect.
And yeah, it does. It worked out great. We do a lot between 11 and 3. 3 o'clock will slow down a little bit. We might get a few here and there between 4 and 5. 5 o'clock, we'll get another hit
Because everybody's picking up on the way
on
home.
the way home.
Yeah.
Exactly. The machines start going off. The phone starts ringing. People start coming in. So yeah, definitely that 5 to 7 is another sweet spot.
Don't
right
you
there.
love did you get to the part in the bear yet where they've gone to on digital?
Honestly, we just started it
Okay,
last
yeah,
night.
I won't ruin
we
it
got
for you
into
then.
we got into the second episode. Tonight we're
Yes.
gonna start the rest.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I won't ruin it for you. I'm just gonna say they weren't ready. They weren't ready for
But
delivery.
I gotta say that show took me back to my line cook days and the way it was in the kitchen back
Wow.
then.
PTSD,
That's good to
any
know.
kind of
Very much
flashbacks.
so.
Okay, hopefully. I got to watch this show now. So
It's
it's
really
on
good.
Hulu.
So good.
FX produces it, but it's not on the FX networks yet.
Yeah,
It's
it's on
only
Hulu.
on Hulu. So I got to figure out my password with that. It's gotten very hard these days, Neki. With what's my for
mean,
some
he
reason it's
eats
not
out
all programmed
Twice a day, every day, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of it is research.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
he's
but I can't
exhausted.
figure out what my password is for my Amazon Prime or
Oh.
my Netflix or my Hulu or my
I just
Disney
reset
Plus or
I
it's
just
like
reset them.
it's like
I reset things all the time. They're constantly
So-
sending me emails. Is this you? Did you reset it? And I was like, yeah, I can never remember anything.
and then I get frustrated and I go out to eat. I go
Right.
get another
And
sandwich.
then sometimes you put stuff on your phone on Face ID, and then the Face ID says, "I don't recognize your face." And I'm
Right.
like, "Did I get fat? Like,
That-
why don't you
that's the-
recognize me?"
That's the really concerning thing for me. But mine never recognizes me
Mine
like
either.
when I'm at a certain angle. And I was like, wow, it doesn't recognize the 3
And then you
chins
can't
after
remember
the
what-
4 sandwiches.
Yeah,
So-
All this research.
oh,
I
man.
love it.
Hey, Tom, this is fantastic. And you've added to my total. Like I said, I'm trying to do 31 sandwiches in 31 days. And I think I was at 21 coming in, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have a bite of each. It's going to get me over to 26. I could take the weekend off, but I won't.
Yeah. I mean, after you eat a sandwich like this, I'll never go back to a regular sandwich spot.
See, and you were saying you don't eat a lot of
Yeah, I don't. But
sandwiches.
this is hot food. This is good. This is
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
with thought.
Yeah, of course.
This is food with
It's
thought.
food with love, food
No.
with care, food with
Yeah,
passion.
It's
Yeah.
not something you made like in 5 seconds. And you see, when I first would come to the United States, sandwiches were bologna sandwiches, like for lunch. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's no love in that.
No.
There's no love
although
in that.
I do like a good fried bologna.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't see that a lot anymore.
Listen, I'll fry some spam now. You know, you hook
We-
that up.
Yeah, fried spam too.
Yep,
Oh,
good
my
stuff.
gosh, it's
Now-
the best.
In the Cuban discussion, so no salami. We're not in Tampa. Have you had the ones when you were working in Orlando and the Tampa side of things that
No.
the Cuban sandwiches have salami layered into it?
I've never heard of that.
Really?
It's the first I've heard of salami in a Cuban. Yeah.
No, that's a fighting thing in Miami. Because the Tampa
Well,
first
you got
of
to
all,
go into the competition now. There's a Cuban sandwich competition every year up there
yeah, we
Where
got
in
in
oh, yeah?
Tampa,
Tampa,
Uh-huh.
Ybor City. Yep.
where they say that's where the
Where they
sandwich began.
say it began, and there's a big debate of where did the Cuban sandwich first get developed or eaten. I say it probably was Cuba. There's
Yeah.
a new book out
Right.
that suggests that there was actually sandwich or shops in New York City that were selling them before they even made their way.
It's really hard with these ethnic groups to decide, and I know we do in the Caribbean too, who made it first. But let me tell you something: who wrote the book made it first
right
Yeah, exactly.
because they put it on record.
now. Food historians are out there, and my friend Carlos Frias, who's the food editor, James Beard Award-winning journalist for the Miami Herald. He's into the whole history of the Cuban sandwiches, and he was following the book. I think the author is somebody based in Tampa. But like you say, it's like I don't necessarily know how. I mean, I care, but all I care about is that it exists.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's delicious.
It's about bragging rights, and I think that when you read anything like food, like anything else, you learn a little bit about when you learn the origin, the history of the place. Right? You learn the history through food.
For
Now, do you
sure.
make your own pickles?
I make my own pickles.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Come on, Maddie,
pickles.
reach on it, get some
And
fried chicken.
no, and the thing is, it variations I think are cool, and it's like I like having all these regional food fights of like, oh no, Chicago dog. People like either get repulsed by them, and they're saying, what's a salad doing? Why is there a tomato? But you do a dog here too, right?
I do a Chicago style dog. I use Vienna beef hot dogs and a poppy seed bun.
Right, that's the only way.
Everything else that goes on, the sport peppers, the pickles, the neon relish, the chopped tomato and chopped onion. Celery salt right at the end.
Right.
That's a Chicago.
And what happens if somebody comes in and asks for ketchup on their Chicago
I'll give them
dog?
the ketchup.
You will?
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm all about giving them what they want.
Oh,
Right.
man.
If they want
So-
ketchup, but I'm not going to put it on the hot dog. I'll put it on the side.
Because there are two types of chefs in the world. There's the chefs that say, my way or the highway. I know what's best. No substitutions, no alterations.
Yeah.
And then there's others who are in the yes business. And even if you grimace and say, that's not the way it's supposed to be,
Right.
but here's your ketchup in a side dish. Do what you got to do.
That's like me saying you got to eat all Caribbean food with the hot pepper. You'll die. Like
Well,
it's-
some
sometimes
people
people just not how they eat it.
look, I think people like your philosophy in the hospitality business. You want to please your guests. Right?
Absolutely. And that's the school that I was brought up in. We say yes to everything.
Yeah.
We never say no. We will
Well,
do whatever we have to do to make it happen.
I say yes, big time, double yes, double thumbs up.
All of this.
For all the food
Thank
that I've
you.
eaten so far. And I've been here a couple times, and I'm always partial to the hot Italian beef because I know a place named Broad Shoulders. You go with
Chicago.
Chicago. It's a
Oh my God.
specialty, but all of this is great.
I
I
might have to
haven't
take a bite
even
of that in the
dug
commercial
into
break.
the.
Yeah, you gotta try
I'm
it.
gonna try this, and I think we got to take our next break. But
Okay.
Tom, again, thank you so much for having us
Congratulations. It's
out.
amazing.
Thank
No.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you so much for coming
everything.
today.
And everybody, I urge you to come to Broad Shoulders Sandwiches, 2822 East Commercial Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, on the south side of the street.
Yep, family-owned
And
business.
the
Tom and his
weird-
wife Cheryl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cheryl and Tom. Again, I love businesses like this where you could sell, hands
Taste the
on.
love.
They're here. Are you open every day, or you
We
close
close on Mondays.
Mondays? You got to
Okay,
have one
good.
day off.
Please take a break.
Keep the
You got
sanity.
it.
And one of the little strange things here, not here at the sandwich shop, but in this strip on Commercial Boulevard and also Oakland Park Boulevard. These are state roads.
Yes.
One side of the parking lot has meters that Fort Lauderdale collects and tickets if you don't pay the meters. The other side is considered state road property. They're not allowed to put city meters there, so you get free parking all
Yeah.
day. So make sure you park on the side of the street on the opposite of where the stores are,
Right.
and it's free parking,
Free
and you
parking.
can't get a
I already
ticket.
got a ticket because I didn't know that. So,
Uh-oh.
You've lived here how long, Neki?
I've lived a lot of years, like 20 years, but I did not know that here. I've only
These-
lived in Fort Lauderdale for a year. So,
Okay, so we're gonna
yeah,
cut
so
her
give me
some
a pass.
slack.
In
There you go.
Miramar, we don't
I
have
don't know
meters.
if the city parking agency is going to cut you any slack when they slap you. What are parking tickets these days anyway? And I don't even know, but
They're
that's
out
I was
okay.
wondering
They're
why
like
there were so
45.
many free spots in front
Yeah,
of the
this
place.
side is wide open.
That's right.
Do you tell your customers like, hey, park on that side?
I think
or
pretty much everybody knows.
knows.
And
No,
if I see somebody that parked on this side, and Cheryl's really good about it, she'll let him know. Park on the other side because you cannot.
Mm.
You won't
Oh
get
my God,
charged.
this is a perfect time to take a break.
Well,
Tom, thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
shouldn't talk with your mouth full.
That's a great sandwich.
Thank you.
You make the corned beef in house.
I make the corned beef in house. Yes. The
Unbelievable.
corned
Wow.
beef, the sauerkraut, Thousand Island. I make. them.
Unbelievable.
Thank
So
you.
good. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
No,
I can't
thank you
wait.
for
I'm
being
getting
here.
into that Italian beef, so we need to take a break.
Yeah, we got to take a break, a long break, and we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox.
Oh my God.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Costa is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Costas. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Visit Lauderdale edition of the Lunchbox, coming to you live right now on
I have to fast every day before I come here.
Broad
It's crazy.
Shoulders Sandwiches. I'm surrounded by sandwiches, sodas, sides, and Neki Mohan. And she is, I got to give, major proud. I'm a food, used to be a food critic. I don't know what I am. I'm an eater. And, I don't sing false praise. And one of the reasons why I wanted to come in here and spotlight Broad Shoulders Sandwiches for Sandwich Month is because they make a really nice variety of different hot sandwiches. And you can tell the quality and the care that Chef Tom and his wife Cheryl, again, both from a fine dining background, work for Emerald Lagasse, and bam, you can tell he's putting a lot of the magic seasonings. This, I was telling Tom, I don't usually like the Reuben sandwiches because I like my corned beef or pastrami just straight up. But this sandwich, and he makes his own corned beef in house, absolutely delicious. And he makes his own sauerkraut and just the melted cheese on top.
Because this bread is
the bomb. It's got caraway seeds. I know some people don't like caraway seeds.
I don't even know what that is.
And I haven't even gotten to the muffaletta that he made. I did have the Cuban, excellent. I did have the fried chicken, excellent. I've had the hot beef in the past with the giardiniera. That's excellent. So
I went to all the sides first. I did a side.
I see that you're, you are tasting all this. I during the break, the beans are good.
Yeah,
a little bit
the beans
sweet.
are excellent with a little kick to it. The coleslaw is crunchy. It has a little vinegar in it. And then you have, hi, how are you? And then you have we got fans.
We got fans.
We got groupies.
This is great.
Groupies.
This is exactly what we want. We're building the Visit Lauderdale Lunchbox segment into a juggernaut of eating.
Exactly.
And the calories don't count. When you're on the air and you're doing it for a show, I don't think the calories count, right? So something like that.
I'm done eating for the day or the week.
That's what I always say, especially when I do a double, or triple sandwich day on the show. But then 6, 7 o'clock rolls around. My daughter gets home from work and she's like, "Dad, I'm hungry." And lo and behold, I'm eating again. But that's the life of the Lunchbox.
You gotta be scared of food.
Gambling Gourmet, Mike Mayo. Hey, so talking about the different condiments,
the one of the things I like about the hot Italian beef is just it comes with that, the giardiniera, the vegetable, and the jus on the side. Although he was saying that traditionally it's just all dunked in the juices, but you don't need any kind of mustard or mayo on that thing. It's just that jus ties it all together and makes it a.
And I could feel the love he has for his Chicago roots, because that's what that show we keep talking about, The Bear, is about. It's about the tradition, the love, because a lot of kids grow up in this type of shop because that's their family-owned shop. Yeah. But they learn from everybody, like that show, The Bear. Nobody's a culinary student.
Right. They learn the school of hard knocks. That's the reality.
Yeah, but they take pride.
You
There's
go
so
out there
much
and
pride.
you do it, and there's none of the fancy culinary academies with the toques and
but they have the best food critics. The line out the door every day.
That's right. And
I think that while it's great to say you have all these fancy awards, the fact that you're in business and you're feeding people every day and they're choosing to spend their hard-earned dollars on your meal should be the greatest compliment ever.
Well, one thing now with the era of everybody's a critic and everybody's posting their reviews on Yelp or Let's Eat South Florida, the Facebook group that I help run with the Sun Sentinel, 86,000 strong. It's crazy. But, some people might snipe and give a bad review, but a very wise restaurateur once said, don't look at reviews. Look at your register. Right. And if the register is full, the till is full every night, it means you're doing something right. And if it's not, then you got to kind of take a look of like what's going wrong. Why aren't people coming? And here I'm glad to see, especially during the summertime when let's face it, some restaurants do have a bit of a struggle, and that's why I'm glad that we have the Dine Out Lauderdale thing going on. So,
and we've got to figure out a way to really incorporate. What would you say? These are fast casual?
Yeah, the fast casual joints.
Casual
and
set.
You have, obviously, Dine Out Lauderdale focuses on more of the, the fine dining, upscale, multi-course dinners for $35 or $45.
This is a multi-course dinner.
This is a multi-course
meal. You got beans,
meal.
you got mac and cheese, you got potato salad.
And I think there's a way to blend it where you
Those
can
beans
say,
could be dessert.
Have some of these places do either kind of, if you come in and mention Dine Out Lauderdale, have some sort of discount. Or get a free bread pudding. Or you maybe have a sandwich, and a soda for a set amount that's a little bit lower price than the typical. But all kinds of inventive ways that we're going to keep going forward and incorporate.
Because like I said, I was telling Tom in the break, when we have people visit our destination, they stay at all these great hotels, but they want to come out into the neighborhoods. Yeah. And they want to meet the family-owned businesses, and they want to talk to them, and they want to try. And like what I can do now is, we have groups that come from all over the country, and I could tell the Chicagoans, hey, come get an Italian beef.
Put a list together of here are the top 3 spots to get
and maybe
a taste
they have
of
a
home.
mixed group that says, I want to try a Cuban. Well, guess what? They could do a trip around the world right here at Broad Shoulders.
And, the wonderful part now, if you come from out of town and you're staying, let's say, at a hotel on the beach, there's this thing called Uber and Lyft. You could just take your car, you don't need a rental car. You just hop in one of these, services, these rideshare services, and you can explore.
That little scooter up here.
Yeah, and it get, sample all the wonderful diversity, all the mom and pops, places like last week, Neron's Kitchen. We had a wonderful Laotian meal last week.
They were amazing.
And all that stuff. It's what we love to do here is spotlight, some of the off the beaten path places here on the Visit Lauderdale edition. That's going to do it for today. Neki,
are we done already?
We're done.
Wow.
Time flies when you're eating up a storm. And again, thanks to Tom and Cheryl, the owners here at Broad Shoulders Sandwiches,
superb.
2822 East Commercial
Did you have
Boulevard.
a homemade pickle yet?
I have. They're delicious.
So good.
Everything here is good. Lunchbox approved, Gambling Gourmet approved, Defo approved, Lubie approved, Neki Mohan approved. Come on out. And that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Lunchbox, and next week with another edition of the Visit Lauderdale, Everyone Under the Sun, Every Dish Under the Sun segment. For Neki Mohan, Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Mike Mayonnaise Mayo saying thanks, and remember to enjoy
between the Mayo Clinic and the mayonnaise business.
It's my name. It belongs to me.